1. When training new certified acceptance agents, which adult learning principle is most important to apply? A. Rote memorization of IRS forms. B. Self-directed learning with real-world scenarios. C. Passive listening to lectures. D. Memorizing every IRS regulation without context. 2. In evaluating a CAA trainee's ability to identify fraudulent documentation, which method is most reliable? A. True-false quizzes. B. Observation of role-play client interviews. C. Written essay on fraud prevention. Multiple choice exam only. 3. Which curriculum development strategy best ensures CAA trainees understand ITIN application compliance? A. Provide lengthy legal texts without interpretation. B. Organize content around realistic case studies. C. Emphasize memorization of codes. D. Avoid discussion of errors to save time. 4. A key communication skill for CAAs when interacting with clients applying for an ITIN is A. Using complex tax jargon to demonstrate expertise. B. Actively listening and simplifying technical terms. C. Speaking quickly to minimize time spent per client. D. Avoiding questions to maintain authority. 5. What is the primary regulatory compliance requirement for CAAs under IRS guidelines? A. Advertising tax services broadly. B. Verifying original documents or certified copies. C. Collecting client feedback forms. D. Recording training sessions. 6. A mentoring technique that supports new CAAs in mastering compliance is A. Assigning them difficult cases without guidance. B. Shadowing experienced CAAs during client interviews. C. Allowing them to work alone immediately. D. Providing no feedback until errors accumulate. 7. When designing assessments for CAA training, which aligns with adult evaluation best practices. Test recall only. Use open-ended scenario-based tasks. C. Relies solely on multiple-choice questions. D. Provide answers in advance. 8. A CAA mentor notices a trainee struggles with explaining ITIN requirements to clients. What is the best approach? A. Assign reading on IRS codes. B. Role-play sessions with immediate feedback. C. Reduce their client interactions. D. Ignore the issue until annual review. 9. Which element is most critical when building a CAA compliance curriculum? A. Client engagement strategies. B. IRS Publication 4520 and related guidelines. C. Marketing techniques for tax firms. D. Personal income tax planning tips. 10. In adult learning, CAAs retain knowledge better when in A. They memorize line-by-line instructions. B. They apply information to real client cases. C. They only listen to lectures. D. They avoid hands-on activities. 11. When evaluating compliance, the IRS expects CAAs to A. Collect Social Security cards for all applicants. B. Maintain detailed records of verified documents. C. Submit marketing reports. D. Certify tax returns. 12. The most effective way to mentor a new CAA in documentation review is demonstrating with actual samples. B. Assigning chapters of the Internal Revenue Code. C. Conducting lengthy theoretical lectures. D. Withholding feedback until certification exam. 13. In CAA training, what is the best way to address diverse learning needs? A. Deliver identical lecture material to all. B. Use blended methods like simulations and discussion. C. Ignore feedback from learners. D. Focus only on visual learners. 14. Which evaluation method most accurately measures a CAA's ability to comply with IRS regulations? A. Multiple choice quiz. B. Practical case-based exercise. C. Memorization test. D. Peer feedback alone. 15. Effective communication with non-English speaking ITIN applicants may include A. Refusing service until fluent English is used. B. Using certified interpreters or bilingual materials. C. Relying on family members to translate without verification. D. Guessing client responses. 16. A CAA curriculum should be updated most frequently in response to A. Changes in tax marketing trends. B. New IRS compliance requirements. C. Seasonal variations in tax filing volume. D. Student learning preferences. 17. Which adult learning principle encourages CAA trainees to solve problems creatively? A. Passive note-taking. B. Problem-centered learning tasks. C. Memorization drills. D. Ignoring practical application. 18. A CAA trainer evaluates learning effectiveness by A. Testing trainees only once at the end. B. Using formative assessments throughout training. C. Providing no feedback until certification. D. Relying solely on attendance records. 19. When mentoring CAAs, giving constructive feedback means A. Focusing only on errors with criticism. B. Balancing strengths with areas for improvement. C. Avoiding feedback to preserve confidence. D. Delivering feedback only during annual reviews. 20. A regulatory compliance failure for CAAs may occur if they A. Verify documents using certified copies. B. Accept notarized copies instead of required originals. C. Follow Publication 4520 guidelines. D. Maintain confidentiality of client records. 21. The best way to evaluate communication skills in CAA training is A. Observe role play with clients. B. Give a multiple choice test on communication theories. C. Rely only on written exams. Have trainees read IRS publications aloud. 22. In adult education, motivation increases when CAA trainees A. See direct relevance to their work. B. Are required to memorize regulations only. C. Avoid applying skills to practice. D. Receive no opportunities for questions. 23. A CAA mentor models ethical compliance by A. Cutting corners on document verification to save time. Demonstrating strict adherence to IRS requirements. C. Delegating compliance tasks to untrained staff. D. Avoiding accountability. 24. Which assessment ensures a CAA trainee can apply IRS guidelines effectively? A. Open book compliance scenarios. Oral memorization of IRS codes. C. Timed recall tests only. D. True-false quizzes. 25. When developing a CAA training program, what should come first? A. Identifying learning objectives based on IRS requirements. B. Writing final exam questions. C. Designing the classroom layout. D. Choosing training snacks. 26. A key mentoring strategy to support independent practice is A. Gradually increasing responsibility. B. Withholding client interactions until final training. C. Allowing unsupervised work immediately. D. Avoiding progress checks. 27. A common error CAs make without proper mentoring is A. Verifying original documents. B. Accepting improper notarized copies. C. Following Publication 4520 rules. D. Recording training logs. 28. In adult learning theory, reflective practice helps CAAs by A. Repeating rote memorization tasks. B. Analyzing their performance to improve compliance. C. Avoiding self-assessment. D. Copying peers' methods. 29. Effective evaluation of a CAA's compliance knowledge is achieved by A. Observing real-time case handling. B. Using random trivia quizzes. C. Focusing only on attendance. D. Skipping assessments altogether. 30. Which communication approach is most ethical for CAAs? A. Clear explanation of ITIN requirements without coercion. B. Exaggerating services to secure clients. C. Withholding important compliance details. D. Using overly complex jargon to confuse clients. 31. A regulatory compliance violation occurs when a CAA forwards verified documents securely to IRS. B. Keeps incomplete or unverified application files. C. Uses IRS Form W-7 correctly. D. Updates training as rules change. 32. Which mentoring technique builds long-term confidence in new CAAs? A. Encouraging independent problem-solving with guidance. B. Ignoring their questions to promote independence. C. Assigning repetitive tasks without explanation. Discouraging initiative. 33. In developing evaluation criteria for CAA training, the priority should be A. Alignment with IRS compliance requirements. B. Popular opinion among trainees. C. Ease of test creation. D. Avoidance of real-world applications. 34. When mentoring a new tax professional about CAA responsibilities, which method best supports adult learning principles? A. Delivering lengthy lectures without interaction. B. Using real ITIN application scenarios for practice. C. Requiring rote memorization of IRS forms. D. Providing only reading assignments from IRS manuals. 35. In evaluating a trainee's readiness for CAA certification, which method ensures the most valid assessment? A. Grading only on multiple-choice knowledge tests. B. Asking the trainee to role-play verifying client identification. C. Reviewing textbook summaries for accuracy. D. Having the trainee sign a checklist of learned items. 36. If a CAA notices inconsistent documentation in a client's ITIN application, what communication strategies should be prioritized? A. Using technical jargon to highlight the error. B. Providing clear, respectful, and plain language clarification. C. Ignoring the inconsistency to avoid conflict. Immediately rejecting the client without explanation.